Welcome to the grind. First-person shooter gameplay has changed. 10 years ago, shooters were tactical. Now it's jump, slide, repeat. Does doing so provide some fast-paced footage? Sure. It looks flashy. But to me, it's hollow gameplay. Could I play that way? Sure. But I won't. Is it something I'm after personally? No. I'm not chasing sugar-high gameplay, and yeah, that makes landings, my shots, a little bit tougher. I play slower, more deliberate, which means I miss more than I land. And today's video is going to show that. I'm not a jackrabbit when it comes to this franchise. Back at Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, recon was more about patience and timing. Spider monkeys were rare. Now they're everywhere. My gameplay now seems to be the exception, not the rule, especially with the recon class. So here's the segment: spotting, sniping, and seeing what lands. And it has been a while. My aiming skills leave much to be desired. And I'm sure there's folks out there thinking it's garbage. And that's fair. Like I said, it's been a while. I'm currently on the nostalgia map, Operation Firestorm, Conquest. I loved this map in Battlefield 4. A lot of us would try our best to trade shots over the captured points from opposing mountaintops. We often sidelined the objectives to run our own little sniper duel. That was the real game for a lot of us. We knew our teams were going to shoot it out over the objectives, and that was fine. We wanted to see if we could outsnipe each other and land the longest headshot. It became a game within a game. If one mountainside was wiped out, we'd bring the focus of our attention back down below and take a few shots while we waited for the opposing team to reposition back to their mountainside. It became ritual. Mountain cleared, reset, fire again. Didn't matter if it was the same players from the previous match or not. No one complained about camping in those two spots. It was mutually understood, at least from my experiences. And it was a blast. I haven't seen that happen yet in Battlefield 6, but I'm hoping some of those Battlefield vets bring that exchange back. Until then, I'm watching for timing windows when the chaos slows just enough to land a shot. I did see a few people comment in-game complaining about those two spots, which I thought was a little odd. That's not a complaint from my end, just an observation. But I'm wondering if it's part of the new current player attitude. I never really understood the whole anti-camping culture. It's not something new either. You're supposed to defend captured points. One way to do that is to sit still and defend it. I've been on the receiving end of the campers many times. It's frustrating sometimes, sure. You get a player that found the perfect spot and hits you every time you get close. So you have to find a way around him. That's part of the game. So yeah, never understood the whole I hate campers campaign. Anyway, I'm also trying to run some of the in-game challenges and trying out different sniper rifles I've unlocked and the DMRs. One of those challenges is unlocking the PSR. Since the DMRs don't hit as hard as snipers, I am having a more challenging time hitting and downing targets from this distance using the DMR. So when using them, I'm in a position closer to the capture points or on a smaller map. Until I get a better handle on DMRs, the top of the mountain is for sniper rifles. And because of all the running around, I am missing more than I'm landing. In some cases, I'm still tweaking the settings. Sometimes I'm shooting the cover instead of the target when the target has been spotted. Scope's not giving me the clarity I need. This isn't so much of a skill issue, more of I can't see them through the scope as well as I'd like. I'm 50. Give me a break. And yeah, some of the setting changes I'm tweaking are a handicap, for now. Once I get better, I plan on retweaking the setting to remove said handicaps. And once I get the hang of this thing again, I should be back to the level I was with the previous titles. In the meantime, while I try to improve the aim, spotting contributes not only to my score, but to my team. I feel spotting is an underappreciated mechanic in this game. While I'm up here, or further back on the map, the rest of the team are running tanks, reviving, shooting the other teammates. Spotting allows me to help them see what's not in front of them. Is it glorious work? No, not at all. But it's helpful giving the team the upper hand. And all I have to do is scope the opponent. For extras, I throw up the drone, especially to cover areas I cannot see through. In contrast, this type of approach for me works best on bigger maps like Operation Firestorm. It does okay in New Sobek City, but instead of being on opposite sides of the map, the elevation is in the middle. That's fine, but it does come with different issues, especially when the tallest building can be accessed by both teams. So, to avoid the knife in the back and the loss of my dog tags, I tend not to hang out in that building for very long. This forces me to move around a lot more and shoot up more than shoot down. Siege of Cairo doesn't suit my sniping style. Not really, not at all. I've seen the quick scope montages, pop, pop, pop. That's not my thing. That could be a skill issue, sure, I'll admit that. I'll admit this entire video shows a skill issue. For context, I play on mouse and keyboard. I tried controller for a little while, and it has its advantages over M&K, but right now my skill and gameplay is worse with the controller, so one problem at a time. See, I've been playing a much slower game for the majority of the last 7 years, and got used to playing strictly mouse and keyboard. The controller felt odd when I used it in Battlefield 6, so not only do I need to practice on my actual gameplay in this game, I need to unlearn some old habits with the peripherals. There's also the fact that until recently I didn't have a lot of time to play video games. At best, I may have had 2 hours or less a night to play. This didn't give me a lot of time to accelerate improvements. Now I do, and I decided to pick this game to fix all of that. These details add up to contributing to the gameplays you're seeing here on my channel. Playing the game like it's still Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4, not having 8+ hours to play daily until recently, old habits that turned into different muscle memory over the last several years, and not having developed spider monkey reflexes. That result, a lot of missed shots and slower approaches.
Enemy helo!
So, with Cairo, I generally don't snipe on that map in Conquest. It's not as punishing to me in Rush or Breakthrough, as I can fall back a bit and have a little bit more breathing room to take my time with the shots. Spotting helps the team, and I get points for those as well. So it's not always about the headshot. Manhattan Bridge is similar in this way with Cairo. Snipers work in urban areas as real-life campers. It's usually just a small target window, perhaps a small handful of targets in real life. For the current fast-paced players, not so much. Yes, I've seen the footage of quicker scoping and pop after pop after pop. Still. Remember, I don't play like that, so Manhattan for me is either assault or support classes. If I'm going to play fast-paced, I would rather prefer a fast-paced class built for that. Liberation Peak. This map has a similar situation as New Sobek City, where there's an elevated point right smack in the middle of the map. Post-patch, however, that elevated spot's no longer viable for recon. Now, on one side of the map is elevated higher than the other, but you can only see a fraction of the map from there. So I have two choices now. I either miss half the action, or I switch classes. I'm not here to play a game for the most skills. I'm just here to play. And yeah, that seems to be a very foreign concept to a lot of shooter players today. Myrick Valley is another map I actually like playing for sniping. It doesn't matter which game mode it is, Conquest, Breakthrough, Rush. It reminds me a little of Galatia, River Somme, and a bit of Verdun Heights without the tunnels from Battlefield 1, trenches, small ruined houses. Myrick is not as large of a map as Operation Firestorm in scope, but it does make for interesting sniping games. Iberian Offensive for me falls under the same category as Manhattan Bridge and Siege of Cairo. Except Iberian is tight, vertical, and full of blind corners. Not ideal for my recon play, no matter the game mode. So Iberian, Manhattan, Cairo, it's either assault or support for me for the time being. Now, walk with me here. Battlefield 2042 is often panned as not being Battlefield to a lot of players. I can see that argument. I did enjoy playing it once the rough edges were smoothed out. I could still see Battlefield in there, though. I didn't play Battlefield 5 at all. Why? Well, even though I played Battlefield 1 for a time, I wasn't sold on Battlefield 1. It was a beautiful game, but the game mechanics were just not my thing. I was used to playing more modern weapon-style shooter games. The devs did a fantastic job, in my opinion, in having the weapons in Battlefield 1 behave like turn of the 20th century technology. It took a lot of getting used to for me. I wasn't interested in a reworked version of Battlefield 2042, which is why I didn't play Battlefield 5. EA DICE already covered World War II. My games, the ones I absolutely loved, Bad Company 1, Battlefield 3, Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 4. These games had maps for snipers, and I learned to snipe with them. Acta non verba, Ghost Town, Par for the Course, which I like the fact that we're getting golf carts again soon with the new season. Gulf of Oman, Karg Island, Caspian Border, Harvest Day, Oasis, Carousel Storm, Zavad. These were all large-scale maps and so much fun in the sniping class. I do hope some of the scale comes back to Battlefield 6 for those of us who like them. I understand the appeal for the smaller maps. They serve a purpose. Smaller maps do have their place, just not for my style. I'm not saying any of the small maps are bad, but hopefully EA, DICE, Battlefield Studios don't leave out the larger scale maps.
Enemy tank.
I'd love to see the older maps in Portal once the final tweaks are in. I don't personally think my gameplay is antiquated. It has its uses, especially for someone not chasing anything other than self-improvement. It is, however, better on bigger maps. So, this is where I stand in the game right now. Not chasing frantic kill counts or scoreboard glory. The highlight reels, those are the shorts I post. Moments worth isolating, not the full story.
Sniper.
I tend to do better on the other classes. Sniping is where I'm weakest. What I'm focusing on is timing, clarity, and shots that require patience. That's not always easy with the pace of today's gameplay, but it's the approach I'm committed to. For me, it's not about reaction speed, it's about reading the rhythm of the match and knowing when to act, when to shoot. Some maps support this style, others don't. Those maps that don't for me, I'll run around in the other classes. But even in those classes, I'm not interested in speed running or being on top of the scoreboard. I've already seen videos where some people have unlocked everything or are already past career level 100. And the game is barely 2 weeks old. I mean, that may be fine for some, but that doesn't sound like fun to me, zipping through the content like it's the last thing on earth. I like taking my time, enjoying the game that's in front of me. I'm not worried about missing anything. So while some days I connect more than I miss, there are days it's the reverse, and I'm still relearning, still readjusting, still refining. So no, Battlefield 6 doesn't play like 3, 4, or Bad Company. The mechanics have evolved, movement, weapon handling, even how engagements unfold. So I have to evolve with it. Not abandon my style, but adapt it to the current framework. So yeah, I'm not worried about the scoreboard. I need to know I played with intent, and that I improved. That's my grind. That's my goal. I still believe there's room in this game for slower, deliberate play. Not every match needs to be a sprint. There's value in holding a position, spotting for teammates, and landing the kind of shot that only comes from patience and timing. As Battlefield 6 continues to change, I'll adapt. If the scale returns, I'll be ready to play those maps as I always have. And if it doesn't, I'll still find a pocket I need. Still spot, still snipe, still test my timing. With that intent I mentioned earlier. Remember, skill issues are temporary, guys. Hate on it all you want. I never said that I was a competitive player, nor do I pretend to be. My skill sniping will improve, and who knows? Maybe one day you'll be playing and get a fatal headshot from 1,200 or 1,500 meters out, and you become my new target trophy for the longest shot in the match. And considering I record all my gameplay, you never know if I post that longest shot of the match on YouTube. If I'm being honest, I'm not saying the way people play shooters now is wrong. It's just not how I prefer to play, especially in Battlefield. That faster style has its place, but I believe my approach has a place in Battlefield 6 as well. I've seen moments where both styles, fast and deliberate, can work together, but slower, more intentional gameplay tends to shine on maps like Operation Firestorm. Hopefully we'll see more of that balance moving forward. I'd generally like to hear your thoughts, especially if you're a veteran player. If you're running Firestorm regularly, do you play it like Battlefield 4? Or have you learned and leaned into the faster reaction-heavy style? Are you a quick scoper? Are you sprinting across the map like your hair's on fire? Drop a comment below. I'd like to hear how different playstyles are showing up in Battlefield 6. I'll be continuing this journey of spotting and sniping in the next video set for Friday. Hope to see you there. Now, before you go, please check out the video description. Each month I highlight a veteran-focused organization doing real work. This month it's Day of the Deployed, supporting deployed service members and their families through outreach, resources, and connection. Links in the description if you'd like to learn more or support them directly. Thanks for watching. Remember the plugs. Like, share, subscribe, comment. And until the next one, out.